If you're a fan of all things Power Rangers and Power Rangers related and you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Anyways, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy the video. So back in the 90s, Power Rangers was at its hype, it was at its best, it was at its popularity, and Haim Saban wanted to keep that genre alive and well, so he bought out a lot of tokusatsu and Super Sentai related shows. And when I mean a lot of Super Sentai and Tokusatsu shows, trying to see what one would be the next big successor if Power Rangers was on its way out. And one of the shows that he bought back in the day was Big Bad Beetleborgs. Now I barely remember Big Bad Beetleborgs. I used to watch it before I went to school on Cheese TV, but Big Bad Beetleborgs kept showing up on my Netflix recommendation list, so that must be some sort of sign that I need to rewatch and visit this show. But that's maybe for another day or for another video where I'll revisit Big Bad Beetleborgs on this channel, who knows. But Big Bad Beetleborgs is kind of the redhead stepchild of Power Rangers or the Haim Saban stuff. That and Knights of Chernobog, that is also a show that people forget about that Saban did. But Beetleborgs was kind of like the stepchild or the stepbrother of Power Rangers because it followed the same formula, tokusatsu, Beetle, metal heroes and stuff like that. Kids save the day, they get special powers, they morph into Japanese stock footage and stuff like that. I'm surprised that Saban never did a crossover with Power Rangers on the TV show to promote it, sort of like what they did with Kamen Rider back in the day. But the closest thing we got was a comic. That's right, there was a comic where Power Rangers Turbo crossed over with Big Bad Beetleborgs in the form of a comic that not many people know about, and it's under a lot of people's radar because from what I've heard and done the research on, this comic has been out of print ever since the 90s and it's very, very hard to find. So this one-shot was printed in a comic called Saban's Powerhouse that was published by Acclaim and Valiant back in the day, and it was very short-lived. It only lasted 3 issues, and it had a lot of licensed characters by Saban, such as Big Bad Beetleborgs, Masked Rider, probably VR Troopers and stuff like that, and Power Rangers was one of them. So in the second issue, they did a comic where the Power Ranger Turbos crossed over with the Big Bad Beetleborgs Metallix, and the comic is average and not terrible. It is what it is, but it's very, very 90s. It's not as cool as the stuff you get in the Boom Studios. It's very for its time back in the 90s. So let's go over the comic and talk about it. So the plot for this comic is very simple and basic. Divatox from Power Rangers and Nuxus from Big Bad Beetleborgs team up, and what they create is a shape-shifting monster so they can make the teams think they're fighting each other, leading the two groups to fight each other for real. So it's the typical, you're my enemy, I don't like you, we're gonna fight, we're gonna duke it out, and after we hear each other out and learn the truth, we're best buddies and we're gonna fight the bad guys and save the day. Hooray! So it's very, very basic, one of those stories, not too deep like the Boom Studio comics that we get nowadays. This is your typical crossover, save the world, defeat the bad guy, and stuff like that. What's interesting to take note about this comic is the Power Rangers and the Beetleborgs take place in separate universes, different universes. The Power Rangers is a TV show in the Beetleborgs world, and the Beetleborgs is a comic in the Power Rangers universe. So that's one of the interesting things to take away from this comic. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of the Big Bad Beetleborgs versus the Power Rangers. I kind of wish they could have made this a full episode, but I'm guessing Saban or the writers didn't want to do it. It wasn't forced upon them like with the Masked Rider stuff and the Ninja Turtles Next Mutation crossover. It wasn't forced like those things back in the day. So this I would have loved to see as a kid, because I would have eaten this up if I saw this as a kid, because I was a fan of Beetleborgs and Power Ranger Turbo at the time. So yeah, I'm kind of wish this could have been an episode or something instead of in the form of a comic book that no one's rarely read. But hey, it is what it is, and maybe Big Bad Beetleborgs will return to our screen someday. Probably not, but either way, if you want to check out this comic, it is very hard to find, really hard to find. I found mostly weird scans that I looked at having a look at this comic, but if you want to check it out, feel free. You have to look around on the internet, but I'm sure it's not that hard to find. Maybe you can buy a physical copy on eBay. Who knows? I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys around. Peace out, and thanks for watching.